can I
You
do?
good there?
Oh, hold up. No. Oh well.
You're
But
straight. You're straight on my end. Well, you're not straight on your end.
no, because like in order for me to I have to hold the phone like this, and I really want to sit it down, so I want to like rotate it over.
Uh,
I
let
don't
me
know how to
let
do
me see
that.
if I do it.
Let me see.
Nah, I think we got to do it this way. I think.
Yeah, does it force you to do that too?
Yeah. You good though from here?
Okay. Well, sorry. I'll just one hand, and I'm not gonna be able to move it.
You good? Um. Nevertheless, man, we're here live, Mill City Boxing, and I'm home with the one and only Blair, the Flair, Cobbs. Before we start the segment, bro, you know you got to give me one of them Ric Flair Johns.
Woo! It's the one and only Blair the Flair. It's a pleasure to be here with you at Mill City Boxing Podcast. You cannot get no
Mm,
better.
you know that. So, man, how's your day going?
The day is actually going pretty good. I had some good news, but it's just just getting life together. It's a process. I just relocated back to Vegas from Malibu, and I'm just getting things together, getting all my ducks lined up. So when it's time to hit the streets and hit the gym, I can go full swing and be ready for something big to be coming my way.
Mm. You got me excited, bro. I thought you had like a fight date ready to go. I was like, what? Let's
Well,
get
we
it.
got some things very, very much in alignment. The stars are definitely aligning up for something very, very big to be happening. I just got to make sure that like I'm working. It's got to be working. Like we have a few things that's in the mix. We have. I mean, we still have Golden Boy going. We're going through that whole situation, but I'm not like completely Xing Golden Boy out of the situation. But they do need to pay me. You know what I mean? For damages that's happened already, they owe me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But beyond that, that's an opportunity. Connor Ben with Matchroom, that's an opportunity.
Connor Ben.
Mm,
Good
um,
name.
Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, he's coming back. You know what I mean? The legend himself, Adrian Broner, he's coming back. So it'd be great to get in there and bless the world with greatness once more. I think that fight is inevitable,
Mm.
almost as inevitable as like the Terrence Crawford fight. That's inevitable fights. It's gonna happen. Boots Ennis, he's a terror right now. He's terrorizing the division. He's doing a lot of amazing things. Let's see what happens when Blair or Flair get in there and do something that's completely uncoordinated and cannot be, let's say, he can't see it coming. What
Mm.
happens when he can't see something coming? I want to see what happens when he gets hurt. I think the world deserves to know what happens when good old Boots Ennis gets hurt.
Mm.
Do those boots turn into stilettos? Or
Hey.
we
Oh,
need to know.
shit. To the
The world
stiletto.
needs to know
The
because
stiletto talk.
yeah. I mean, next thing you know it, you know what I mean. He's wearing stiletto pumps. I thought he was a man. You know what I mean. But next thing you know it, he's not a man anymore. He's my girlfriend.
Oh,
So
shit.
that's what happens. You know what I mean? That's what happens in boxing, and we have a lot of good opportunities that's happening for Blair Flair, and Blair Flair is getting back in the mix. So Blair Flair is getting ready and prepared.
Mm. Mm. So, I told you I did an interview with Bozy. Um, and
Great, great. Like beyond like the beef and all that, Bozy is definitely a great trainer. You know what I mean? And he navigated Boots to a certain level that was perfect. You know what I mean? He didn't do very well with his other two brothers, but he, they're working out. They're all working together to culminate for the best that they can have. You
mm,
know, I'm
yeah,
proud of him.
he said that you guys are cool. He said ever since you moved out to in the South that you was a little bit too good for all the Philly guys now. So just a comment he said. And we were talking about the sparring with you and Boots. I guess he was what, like 16 at the time. Boots.
I don't know. I don't know what time, like what age he was, but like it's not like I didn't realize how things were happening. You know what I mean? No, he was an amateur and he was boxing, but like they hung up the gloves when it was time to fight. You know what I mean? When it was time to fight and like the nationals and all that stuff is coming around, and I'm still in there along with many other fighters. I might have been the cream of the crop, but I wasn't the only killer. You know what I mean? I wasn't the only killer there.
Yeah,
We
you
had
actually
we
told me
had we
nobody
had
wanted
other
to spar you
people.
at the time.
Yeah, well, this is before the whole sparring situation. He could have got the smoke as an amateur. You know
Mm,
what I mean? But the whole thing is, it's like, what, you going to get killed in the amateurs before you even make it? No. So like they did a very good job at placing him where he needs to be at the right time. The moment he went into the open class to fight like the elite, there was nobody else there. All the top fighters had already moved on to like going professional, myself included. Anthony Young, a lot of other fighters that were top bred fighters in Philadelphia. The problem is it's hard as hell to make it out of Philly if there's a lot of other crazy motherfuckers out there, you know. So it's really something. He placed himself in a very good position to not get so much fire and smoke before he even makes it to the nationals.
mm,
They did a very good job with that. And then what ends up happening, it was an easy road. It was an easy road right up until another southpaw. It was an easy road right up until another southpaw that can't be stopped.
mm. So when we were talking about the sparring, he told me that Boots had you jumping out the ring.
No,
No.
no, no. That's just ridiculous. Look, my whole thing is this: if hold on, baby, go in the room, okay?
I'm gonna say
No,
hi.
no,
I
no,
want to say hi. Even the baby saying that's cap.
no. She just wants to like be involved in everything that I'm doing. It's she's a pain,
How many
but
kids you guys, Blair?
I got two
You got
kids,
two.
and that's really it for me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That season's over.
Yeah.
But the whole the whole thing is this, that no, it wasn't like, oh yeah, we got him, like, no, it was nothing on that level at all, you know. And the thing is, right, you gotta really check what, like, where that all that's coming from, and then the circumstances. If they're like getting over with circumstances and they feel as though like that was like a big deal for them, so they're willing to say, hey, because of the circumstances and you didn't have a fight for like over 3 years, and you haven't been in the gym and you showed up, hey, we got you. I think that that's fucking like 100% bullshit. I think that that's the sign of a coward. And
Mm,
I'm sorry to say it, but them niggas are bitch niggas, and
mm,
just that's just what it is. At the end of the day, if they want to keep bringing that shit up, then holla at me and get the smoke right now. Holla at me and get the smoke right now. Or are you afraid to lose your place? You know what I mean? Are you afraid to lose your place? Are you afraid to lose?
mm,
Because the thing is, I'm not afraid. I'm such a bad motherfucker that like, even I don't you can't stop me even when you stop me.
mm.
You know what I mean? Alexis Rocha went on to fight nobodies and done nothing. And I fight a fucking another top 10 contender. No,
Mm.
hold up right quick. I gotta go. I'm gonna call you. Let me hop on like right after
No, no doubt.
to take care of this.
Handle what you gotta handle. If anything, keep it on, and then just handle it, and then I'll talk to the chat.
All right, perfect.
All right. So yeah, guys, make sure you guys smash the like button. That's Blair the Flair Cobbs. We're gonna be talking a little bit more. What's going on, Jackie Hernandez? When is Blair the Flair fighting next? Well, Blair just told me that he'll be getting a fight. He has a couple names on the table. Some of the names on the table are, Connor Ben, Adrian Broner, and he's really looking for this Jerron Boots Ennis fight. So those are the names that are been presented to him. He's dealing with things with Golden Boy. He's also dealing with things with his kids right now, so he'll be right back. Um, but nevertheless, make sure you guys smash the like button and make sure you tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. Um, I want to see the chat. Let me know in the room right now what questions would you like for Blair. If you guys have any questions for me or what's going on in boxing, there was a lot of good fights this weekend. So let's just chop it up until Blair comes back. He's just like I said, the baby's crying and stuff like that. He got 2 kids, so we just making moves right now. But let's start with the chat and see what everyone's doing. And shout out to everybody. Larry Liston was popping. Cody Banks was good. Khalid was popping. Larry Liston. Um, so shout out to the chat, everyone, for joining me in this live as well. Cody, did you not hear his child? Blair against Broner or Romero. So I mean, Blair's been really trying to get you know, he's been calling out Adrian Broner. He's been calling out a lot of different fighters. You know, he's in a rough position when it comes to Golden Boy. You know, sometimes this happens with fighters that you know, sometimes when you're an outspoken fighter and you're not just like a yes man, um, it tends to be that sometimes, these fighters want you to take a fight, or sometimes the promotional team wants you to take a fight and then lose the fight. Not necessarily like talking about a dive or anything, but more in the factors of like they had high hopes for their Mexican prospects. I'm just talking upon Golden Boy because they're big on the Mexican fighters, um, and you kind of know how they treat the black fighters and stuff like that. It's been an on and on situation with that. Um, Also, Cody Carley. That's right. Cody Carley is definitely that's obviously PBC, and he's back. He's back. Um, People in the chat, bro, been just asking about who is a possibility for yourself, and I was just letting them know. The names that you mentioned: Connor Ben, Adrian Broner. You've been one of that boot smoke, and we were just letting the chat to know, what's been
Keith
going on.
Thurman. Keith Thurman, great fighter to fight. Keith Thurman. Nobody cares if he's trying to chase down in like Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. Nobody cares. He needs to fight the young fighters. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Okay, he haven't been off. He been off. So like he ain't been around. Well then fight Blair Flair. Blair Flair has a big layoff too.
Hmm.
What happened? Like you want a fair fight? Here's a fair fight.
Cody Banks, Blair has not left Golden Boy. He's dealing with a situation. Blair, I'll let you, tap it onto that situation.
Golden Boy needs to give me my release forms. So that's what we've been going through. Because like my contract expired for quite a while now. The right of refusal is expired. Everything is expired. Matter of fact, I have to actually go down to the commissioner's office today to clarify all of that stuff up and force Golden Boy to give us our release papers. That's what's stopping PBC.
Mm.
I mean, the PBC setup, whereas though pretty much everybody else would be pretty much fighting me. You have your Adonis Ugas. Nobody wants to see him fight Keith Thurman, but they'll stay tuned to fight me. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
actually heard it's going to be Ugas and
Keith,
Barrios.
real Barrios. Yeah, that's even worse. Like nobody gives a shit about both of them. When like, come on, like they want to see resistance. They want to see names fighting. Yeah, absolutely. Connor Ben definitely needs to get tested. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
And Blair the Flair, you know what they say, bro. If you want to get tested, you just knock on your door, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just knock on my door. I got the test site set up right here.
Uh
You
huh.
know what I'm saying?
Terso
I
says,
know
"Where
when
you
people
training
say
at?
too. Trust me.
Where you
Huh?
training at? Because I remember something about you and my man. Wow, your old trainer
Bones.
Bones. You guys still work with each other?
Huh?
You guys are not working with each other, right?
No, not right now, but I might have to go back to that gym. I mean, that's technically my gym at the end of the day, so I'm going to go back to my gym to
Mm,
train. Um, and who knows what the future has to offer, but I do have the trainer that will be working my corner um as a lead trainer, which is Roger Romos. Roger Romo is a trainer and a fighter that's that's doing an incredible job of keeping me mentally locked in, focused for the whole fight. That's the only piece that was missing when it came to me. I needed a trainer that's engaged. You can't just say, "Oh yeah," and then just I don't know what you should do. Probably just keep moving forward into punches. Like, you know what I mean? I need somebody that's literally engaged. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Into the fight just as well as I am. Engaged in my training that takes me to 100% so I can win these fights. Win the ones that mean something. And this is the higher level. The highest level of boxing right now is that. Trainers mean something now. So like that's where like I found a good trainer that can hold me down.
Yeah. Speaking about holding down, was that like the reason why the part where Freddie Roach was is that I know he's getting older. I don't really understand how he continues to stay training, but hey, I mean, you kind of know a little bit more than us if you want to share.
Well, I got nothing but respect and love for Wild Card, and the fighters, all the fighters that's there. All the fighters that's there, I love and respect everybody.
Mm,
Everybody there, they all like like brothers of mine. You know what I'm saying? And even the trainers. The trainers are great trainers. You know what I mean? And they're right. Freddie Roach is a Hall of Fame trainer that's trained multiple champions, and at the time, at his time, his everything that he did worked. Yeah, I mean, but also at his time, there's a lot of brain damage. There's a lot of chaos when you have so many great fighters fighting in one gym, and you don't really get 100% of nothing. You know what I mean? It's a hard task. So like most of my fighting, I had to be done in the ring. You know what I mean? In order to like make sense out of that gym to a level where I could like live, where I could survive, I had to dominate. Had to dominate and win and win the respect of my peers. And it was a very interesting time period, learning my craft and learning boxing and learning how to navigate wild card. You know what I mean? It's a terrific gym. But I just like it just didn't work out for me. It might work out for some fighters for a time, but like for me, moving into the highest level, like I need trainers that can be 100% like focused on me.
got
Yeah,
you.
like let's just put it like this. Like we recently watched Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, right? You have to understand that Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence has trainers that are 100% dedicated to them.
Mm,
I mean, maybe Earl Spence trainer might have a couple more fighters now, but I don't believe not even for a second that those other fighters took away his focus and drive for his main fighter. He was a great fighter and a great trainer. You know what I mean? That's what
speaking
I need.
speaking
I
on
need
that,
that.
not to cut you up, but speaking upon that, when you talk about that roster that Derrick James has right now, obviously he got we definitely gonna touch on Anthony Joshua. I don't know if you seen his last past fight yesterday or 2 days ago. Did you?
He won, right? He won by knockout.
Yeah, he
Like,
won by knockout. Did you just seen the highlights?
yeah.
Yeah, I understand the heavyweights. It gets a little boring. Um, And at the same time, Derek James picked up, and he's a cash cow of himself, Joshua. But he also picked up Ryan Garcia, and then you still got Frank Martin that's still undefeated. And in a crazy division where all these great fighters at 135. Who do you feel like gets the short end of the stick in that group?
I don't think any of them got the short end of the stick.
No,
I mean, no, because this. But like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. That's it. He's maxed out. He ain't got
right?
no more extra time. That's like an hour and a half for each fighter. So like, I mean, if anybody comes on board with Derrick James, it probably could be a issue. Unless you're only coming in there to like pick up a couple little skills and abilities. Like I would probably go to like Derrick James just for like a couple things. You know what I mean? Like how he holds the pads and all that stuff. Um, One thing that he's super disciplined about is fundamentals.
Mm,
Fundamentals with fighters that don't have all the glitz and glamour. You know what I mean? Fighters that don't have, like, for instance, I told you, like, Earl Spence is probably his best fighter. You know what I mean? That worked out perfect with him. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because Derrick James is great at his fundamentals and is great to a point where you don't have to use your like eyes.
yeah,
You don't have to use your reflexes so fast where you can track movement within a fraction of a second. You don't have to do that. You
but
just
you
have to
also
like
said he was
think,
limited in
your
one of
hands
our
up.
podcasts.
Huh?
You also said he was limited in one of my podcasts that we did on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. I said like also it's like this. I can admire for what he's great at.
Mm-hmm.
And I can value what he's great at. And if I was to go down there, which is very much possible, I might come down there for like a month or a couple weeks. You know what I mean? Just to pick up those skills and then move on. But yeah, there is flaws like in everything, in everybody. And one of the main flaws is that like there are other things outside of just fundamentals. You know what I
Fact.
mean? Sometimes those fundamentals might mean that hey man, you might need to like change it up and move your head, become a moving target. That's not really fundamental.
Mm,
That's a little bit advanced work. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Okay, instead of just stepping forward, you might want to just circle around, make him pick up his front foot. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Like those were all the those were all the flaws that I saw that I knew that Terrence Crawford saw. And that's why, like, when they were talking about fighting me, I jumped on it right away. Like, yeah, I wouldn't mind upsetting him. That'd be quick. That'd be quick and easy. It'd be the worst fucking. It'd be the worst like tune-up he ever had.
Right.
But
And some of the chat,
yeah,
right? Some of the guys were talking about Derek James. Do you think that he just needs more than the basics for a rematch for Terrence Crawford, or do you think there's not enough time in between to be able to teach an old dog new tricks?
I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I already had those two guys pegged as far as like how to fight them. I was only skeptical about Earl, but this was the whole situation with Earl. He's limited. He has limitations,
Mm-hmm.
and he
We got
cannot work.
44 people on the live, guys. I need more than 16 likes. We got Blair the Flair Cobbs in here right now, guys. My
All right,
bad,
check
Blair.
this out, you guys. You guys gotta give me a woo every time. Hey, just comment in the comment section. Give me a woo. Give me thumbs up, and holla at me if you fuck with me. Matter of fact, and if you don't fuck with me, comment boo. I will acknowledge it. Tell me what you think about Blair the Flair and what he's saying, and also take a note. Take note that like what we're talking about. Let's see what we can come up with.
Mm-hmm. It is a highly skilled interview when we talk about dissecting the sport. It's not like one of these clickbait topics. Now we really dissecting boxing right here, guys. Thank you for the 20 likes. Let's bring these likes up, guys. We got 46 people on the live. Let's bring these likes up. Let's go, Blair. So yeah, we were talking about skilly, like going into different trainers, picking up their skills, talking about Derek James specifically and Errol Spence on what he can do in the rematch, or can he do anything?
No, he can't really do much of anything. He's pegged. and he was pegged from the very beginning. He was pegged before the fight started. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. He was pegged before the fight started. Like,
Mm.
let's just put it like this. Like it's the same thing that I was saying about Terrence Crawford. If he fought me, he'd be pegged from before he even signed the contract. Some fighters are just like that. You know what I'm saying? There's some fights we start forgetting that like styles make fights, not fighters make fights. Sometimes styles make fights. People have limitations. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And you
So
got and
like,
as a coach, you have to be able to dissect what your fighter can do and dissect the other opponent's style
yeah, but the thing
and
is,
really
like,
dissect it.
they don't have anything. Like,
Hmm.
he just doesn't have anything. That's just what it is. It's like, um, in order for um Earl Spence to compete with Terrence Crawford, he'll have to have lightning speed of hands and feet to dart in and dart out. You know what I mean? And catch him, and even be and then also he'll have to heighten his mental stamina to hold that out for a whole fight, because doing that shit, it drains you mentally. And then
Right.
you have, and then in order for him to beat Terrence Crawford, he'll have to like be more intellectually savvy, which means that he'll have to come in, come out, set up a trap, and wait for him to come in and and crack him. You know what I mean? He'll have to do a counter move and set up all kinds of weird moves, and then when that shit gets to a point where like Terrence Crawford starts to like play game and like he think he might have you for like at least a round, then he'll have to do some shit to a point where he'll have to be creative and actually make up moves.
Mm.
You'll have to be creative to a point where like you're throwing feints, decoy shots, you know what I mean, fake punches, and then setting them
Fake
up for,
punches. I like that one.
yeah, fake punches. They're pop. I throw a lot of them. I throw a lot of them, and then but they always come like right after it's a fucking knockout. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's to miss.
The next thing you know, it boom. Like if you ever see me do this, the fucking fight is over. That's the complete trap. He done fell into like, you know what I mean, into complete exhaustion mentally, and it's only a matter of time until it's over. You know what
What
I
do you
mean?
what do you think about that comment? I actually like that comment right there about you doing commentary. Like I feel like that's something that you in the boxing game right now for commentary is much needed.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've done commentary. I like to just like, I'm not just a boxer. I'm more so of a entertainer.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And I like
Must
to
see
promote.
TV.
Yeah. I like to be amongst must see TV. You know what I mean? Precisely. So like I like to do certain things. I like to be involved. I like to fight. You know what I mean? The whole problem is that like boxing is a little upside down, and they're losing sight. They're
Mm,
losing sight of people like me that can upset the force. But because I can upset the force, they're scared too though. Like, oh shit. But what if he beats our guy? Like, bro, then he wasn't your guy. I'm your guy.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
understand that. You know what I'm
And now
saying?
he's got rhabdomyolysis. Man, fuck that shit. Like yo,
Yo, you be on it too. You be on it heavy. I like that shit. You be applying pressure.
I'm applying
Um,
a lot of pressure because like the thing is, there's a lot of fighters that fall into my case. It falls into my situation,
true.
and then they might win a good fight. They might win a good fight, but then they also lose at the same time. You know why?
Talk to me.
Because the fight doesn't even get promoted, and then it's like almost as if it never happened.
Damn.
It's almost as if it never happened. Let me tell you something, and
Talk to
and
me.
Golden Boy does that really well. Rashidi Ellis
Mhm.
beats Alexis Rocha.
Mhm.
Very much a fair fight, and you know how that Rocha loses a fair fight against somebody. That's a somebody, you know.
He took that late notice as well, just like you did.
Yeah, yeah, but Rashidi was ready. That was a fair fight.
Yeah.
Rashidi beat, you know what I mean, because he was far more ready. He had
Mhm.
consistent fights leading up to that fight. What ends up happening, right? Rashidi wins that fight, and then nothing. and then nothing for a very, very long time.
Oh my
And
God.
then, mind you,
Trust me.
this is the whole thing with that fight. When it happened, it's like it never happened. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like nobody just jumped up to applaud and was like, "Oh wow!" Like nobody cared. You know what I mean? It's like it never happened.
Mm,
Golden Boy like to under promote and do certain things, and then when things don't go the way they plan, they can kind of sweep people under the rug. You know what I mean? Like they try to do with me, and that they did with Rashidi Ellis, and a whole lot of other shit, a whole lot of other fighters. You know what I mean? They do that. People that
mhm,
like just, and the whole thing is you need that momentum to conquer the world. You know what I mean? You can't just keep pushing stop because then like you constantly gotta get that momentum back. So like that's the thing. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that Golden Boy does to destroy like their best fighters that happen to not be completely Mexican,
mm.
you know.
Not completely Mexican. um, so let's get into some of these topics that I know that and the chat keep throwing the comments. We're definitely gonna get into it right away, but I also got to get some work done with my man Blair. Some big topics that are in the airway that I wanted to get your opinion on. Blair the Flair's opinion. So, you're very close with, all the Philadelphia fighters. You've been in there with Boots, sparring. You've
I
been in the.
like that doesn't count. That's like that
That's
sparring
years
doesn't
ago.
count.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
that doesn't actually count. I never really been in there with Boots. You know what I
mm,
mean? I've been in there with a fucking child that I did not give two shits about because he was just a child. You know
right.
what I mean? And that was too afraid to fucking fight when the shit was right. You know what I mean? I
Mm,
so I didn't really care too much about that. I was too focused on the fact that I didn't have a fight for years. I'm in fucking poverty. I'm fucking homeless. I'm living out of fucking abandoned buildings. And and every once in a while I don't get sparring, but every once in a while I do because somebody done fucked up and like started talking a whole lot of trash, and then guess who they call when people are fucked up and they throwing a whole lot of shame on the city and in the gyms. Then they called me to come over there and save the day. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got treated horribly out there. You
yeah.
know what
So the trending topics I want to be able to touch on with you, which is Terrence Crawford and Boots when it comes down to the IBF mandatory. If that was that, Terrence Crawford wasn't able to get some of these big fights looking forward, how do you see that fight playing out?
I think it would be very interesting. I wonder what would happen in the sense that like is Boots completely a dickhead? Because like I believe he is, so like that's why I jumped on it. You know what I mean? But like the whole thing is what happens when he's in there with a top gun that like he can't just sit here and think that like that he's easy.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? That might change things up. The only thing that's different between me and Terrence is the fact that like I'm ridiculously faster than Terrence, and I hit a little bit harder on a certain level. He has more so consistent punch power. I have out of nowhere punch power. So like they'll be light, they're very deceitful, and then like you'll see one at boom that and it's all over type of situation. But Crawford is really good at staying patient and waiting the shit out. I don't know how that's gonna go. You know what I mean? I would probably say maybe Boots, maybe
so you lean a little towards Boots in this fight.
a little bit, a little bit.
50-50.
But um, see, it's hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if it's a 50-50, and the reason why is because Boots is not like that seasoned. You know what I mean? He might be seasoned in like taking everything that he learned in the gym over to the fights, but like the seasoned part is that he ain't been tested and he ain't really had too many like ups and downs and trials. There's not that many like champions that he fought. You know what I mean? And like, so it's a little bit strange when you're dealing with somebody like that that's been tippy toed around to a point where like he got into a level where he's at. It's hard to say because the whole thing is I don't think that Terrence Crawford is fast enough to do what that Ukrainian did. That Ukrainian dude did. The only
Karen.
difference, yeah, the only difference that could have like really shut the whole fight down is punching,
Hmm.
and not just any kind of punching, but exchange punching. Some shit that you cannot counter. Some shit that I would do. I guarantee you, I would sit his ass the fuck down. The whole thing is what happens next. That's what I'm curious about. What happens next?
Hmm.
Because it's either he's gonna have commando boots or it's gonna be some stiletto boots. Like,
Yo, guys, we got Blair the Flair here. We got 57 people on the live with only 24 likes. I don't know how we doing this right now, Blair. Like, we get a special right here for y'all, and y'all don't want to like this? Come on, man. Let's get these up. So, um, rematch with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Does it go the same way? 54?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it wasn't like I hate when people make like calls on stupid shit. Like no, Earl Spence did very well at getting his weight down. He had an incredible camp. He's got incredible trainers. He's got dietitians. He's got peace of mind. It's not like he was fucked up with his kids. I should know. I know about that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like the only thing that messed Earl Spence up. And then on top of that, people say that Earl Spence like was hurt from the car accident. Yeah, but he whooped two dudes right after the car accident.
Yep,
I
Danny
mean,
and Ugas. And Ugas was
yeah,
his best performance, I think, in his career.
Ugas is a very tough fighter that nobody calls out except for me. You know what I'm saying? And fucking like, and Danny Garcia has incredible punching power,
Mm,
like unbelievable punching power, and their exchange punches too. You know
mm,
what I mean? But it might be like a perfect match for Earl Spence, but at the same time, he had to face punches. He had to face that danger, and he took care of it. So like, look, the fight had nothing to do with the car accident, even though the car accident is an element. But no, that fight had nothing to do with the car accident. It didn't have nothing to do with the weight. None of that shit. The only thing that happened is look, the perfect fighter fought him. The perfect opponent that's completely opposite him. That he been running away from for years. Like, no, I'm not fighting you. No, like, okay. But sooner or later, you're going to see the smoke. And then
mm.
sooner or later, he saw the smoke. The whole thing is, I'm thankful that it happened when it happened, and it didn't happen 2 more years later.
Right, right.
When Terrence Crawford gets smoked out by like the likes of us, me and Ennis.
Mm, mm. Another trending topic that is happening, and I tend to not I tend to stay away from topics that are not rational. But it's like, come on, I do media. I gotta right. But this is one of them, and it's Gervonta Tank Davis and Terrence Crawford. I mean, I know that Tank Davis said something in a podcast. I see you shaking your head. You know, you got to give me more of a rock style shaking your head. Like this is on some bull. I mean, I feel you on it. There's weight classes for a reason. But I
No,
want to hear what Blair the Flair got to say about this.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. No, um, I like the whole weight class thing. That's not really the element.
Talk
Cause
to me.
tell you the truth, that could hurt you more
Mm,
than help you. You know what I mean? Your reflexes aren't fast enough. Little things is off. You're dealing with a fighter that's a little bit faster, and if he fucking carries his punching power, which he will, it'll be a problem. But the problem is that like it don't take that much to beat Javante if you have ability. And you don't need like unbelievable ability. You just need a little bit of ability. Just a little bit of foot movement, just a little bit of inside outside movement, just a little bit of defense, just a little bit of everything. And the next thing you know it, you can beat a Javante Davis. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, most of these guys are not in. It's not. They don't have that. And then the guys that do, they get too overconfident and they fall victim to the same shit over and over and over again. You fucking playing. You playing. You're playing with fire when you keep like when you don't know what you're actually supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? You're playing with fire. A lot of guys that fight Javante, they lose sight of what they should be doing.
Mm,
Do I think that like that would happen with the likes of me? No. Do I think that that would happen with the likes of Terrence Crawford? No. Do I think that that would happen with the likes of Devin Haney? Absolutely no.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like there is a lot of fighters that Tank don't have a chance against. And there happens to be somebody in his weight class that he could talk shit and that will teach him a lesson. I mean, look, if he was so fucking tough, he would have been fought Lomachenko, but he don't want that smoke. so like, so it's just one of those situations, man. It's like it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Tank is an expert chess player. You know what I mean? He's an expert chess player. He's better than Canelo. Canelo's a chess player. It just so happened that he got his ass whooped by a fucking checker player, didn't he? And Tank could get his ass whooped by a fucking checker player too. You know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing in there, like him trying to, he can be sitting there trying to set up the fucking shot all day until ding, the final round ended
mm,
and game over. You fucking lost every goddamn round. Why? Because you just couldn't checkmate this motherfucker. He checkerboard your ass all the way to the very end, didn't he? You only have 12 rounds and you only have 3 minutes. So if you're locked engaged for 3 minutes of every single round, 12 rounds, and all you only gotta hit him a couple times. You know what I mean? It's not like he's gonna fucking up and chase your ass down. He needs you to come forward in order for him to like to be like truly beneficial for him. You know what I mean? He's a power counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? He needs you to come forward. But if you're strategic enough, if you're fast enough to get in, get out, and play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and if you start stepping forward, you circle around him, make him pick up his front foot. It's hard to fucking throw a punch when you gotta pick up your front foot every time. The only person I know that could do that shit and cut it off is Theonis.
mm,
You can't run from Theonis.
mm, mm.
But like
In the
seriously,
in the chat, somebody said Blair versus Tank. How does that go down?
Tank loses every single round. And then I walk away going, woo! Thank God I didn't get hit with that one shot. You remember that one shot? I almost
Ah, you got me on that one. You got me. I walk around and say, "Woo! Thank God I didn't get hit with that shot." That's true. He got a missile. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's a chess. He's a high stakes, high level chess player. You know
Mm,
what I mean? But he has no chance against somebody like me. But also I would even wager that he doesn't really have a chance against Lomachenko or even Devin Haney. Like, because the whole thing is this: we can't just say like based off of like this fight or that fight. With preparation, they know what they're getting themselves into. With
mm.
preparation, in a fair fight, styles make fights,
They
and that
definitely do.
particular style is don't do well with a high level, high stake checker player. Because we
Mm.
only got 12 rounds. This shit is not lasting forever. This game is over. what you lost. Like, you can't fucking win fights with fucking a couple punches like that's thrown and missed. You have to win punches that's thrown and landed. I would love to see that Shakur Stevenson fight. Yeah,
That
I think
that's
that
my
that
fight. That's my mega fight for the 135. And I see that you don't talk enough about Shakur. I remember doing an interview with you, and you was talking about Shakur. Um, I didn't completely agree. I don't know what you see that I don't see, but then
what
again, I think you was telling me that Shakur's too small. And I don't know. You was kind of making it seem like you believe Devin, and everybody has their own assumption, and their own opinion. They're entitled to it. You
Mhm.
believe, Haney beats Shakur. Do you believe Shakur beats Tank? What what
I
what
think
what do you think?
I think Shakur fighting Devin Haney would be a very interesting game that like most people that's not truly in tune with boxing will
Can't
lose.
appreciate.
It'll like people that's not truly in tune with boxing, they will lose touch of the fucking fight. They'll kind of lose it because like
They'll
only
go to
people like
sleep.
themselves, yeah, they'll sleep on it. It won't be a spectacular fight at all. You
But
know what I
for
mean?
us, we would love it because we like slipping and the art of not necessarily a KO. Just the
Yeah,
art of the sport.
it'll have like I would be interested only to see like certain elements and how they actually execute it. Cause like I know what Shakur is. I've seen him since he was an amateur, since
Mhm.
we were an amateur, because we were together as an amateur. I've seen him progress. I seen him like develop, which really wasn't too much. He didn't really change much,
But
you
he
know.
was high level as an amateur. He was
Yeah,
a
he's
great
always
amateur.
high level. He's always been high level
Yeah.
because
Versus Haney was not necessarily a great amateur.
no, but then that gave Haney a few more weapons. See, Shakur is really good at one weapon, and he's really good at it. It's just distance. And then Haney, he had to use a few more weapons. You know what I mean? If there
Who do
was
you think got a better inside game?
huh,
Who do you think got a better inside game?
Shakur, like none of them have an inside game. Like, what's
Somebody got a better
Uh,
inside
they
game.
will never. They will never go on the inside. Not one of them ever even fighting the inside. It's not. They will never fight in the inside,
I've
and they
seen
will never
Shakur fighting the
outside.
inside, even in his last
Nah,
fight.
nah.
Did you see
It's
his last fight with Yoshino?
yeah, but it's not real. It's not real inside fighting. It's just like whenever he feels comfortable, he finds himself in a position where he can
Moments.
couple punch, a couple punches, and then he steps off and does the exact same thing that he always do, which is hold his hands out and keep that distance and hold his stance as a long stance, whereas though he's making sure that you don't intrude into his space. He didn't stay in there and dip and dodge and shoot punches and
And
shoot,
catch and shoot and catch and
yeah,
shoot.
shooting and wearing a person down and walking them forward, or at least breaking even and breaking them down like that. It wasn't like that. So
Mm, mm. I think he definitely got more of that than Devin, for sure.
I don't know. I don't know. Devin did really good. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I was the first one to talk shit. But like he did really good against Lomachenko, that gave him a whole lot of different looks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happens when he take that experience and cross it over, because people go to Lomachenko, and when they leave different.
They're better. They leave
You know,
better.
Tevin Farmer. He goes to camp with Lomachenko. He comes back to Philadelphia a different person.
Mm-hmm.
He comes
Mm-hmm.
back to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or whatever, a completely different person, far greater and far better than he was.
Another person, Gary Russell Jr. becomes a better fight after the Lomachenko fight, for sure. For sure, yeah, you're right, and a lot of people don't touch on that. A lot of people don't really touch on that.
And people
Uh,
gotta have development too. Like this, there's certain fighters. that will grow people into development. Because
Mhm,
Lomachenko only fought with his brain,
mhm,
it put people in a position where they were like, "Oh shit, that's never happened before. Let me pick up a couple of skills from that." Like a lot of times when I go into gyms and stuff, they take a lot from me because I come from a lot of different places. You know,
mhm.
what I mean, I know how to do a lot of different things. You know,
Now,
and
now, would you have to agree on this then? Because like I've been an amateur boxer. I've been in there to the point that if I want to be sharp with a guy that's lighter than me when I'm sparring, and not necessarily coach will get mad at me if I'm really sitting down on my punches on a lighter fighter. You know what that how that goes.
yeah.
Um, you know, you could come off really, really sharp, and even when you're fighting somebody that you're just trying to be able to feel them out, score your points, then towards the middle of the fight, really start sitting down on some of the shit that you're really trying to engage. My opinion, I just feel like Loma really didn't want to sit down on nothing. I think he just wanted a pity pat.
Loma Lomachenko doesn't actually have that ability.
But then when you see Richard Comey, he just knocks him out. You know what I'm
Yeah, those
saying?
those those punches weren't like pow. They weren't those kind of punches. No, those were the same punches he been landing and been throwing
Nakatani,
since.
you know.
All of them. Every single fight, every single punch is the exact same. He never really changes. He's not a power puncher. He's never been a power puncher. He breaks people down and makes them quit. Just think about that shit for a second. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know, it's just one of those situations. Like, people have limitations, and Lomachenko has a limitation. One, his joints are kind of broken down for his style, like his shoulders. He throw out his rotator cuff consistently. His hands is probably light and brittle, and like don't really, and like he it probably takes a lot for him to get that strength to throw punches. He has to be able to balance himself. You know what I mean? He doesn't have punching power, but then he has good speed. He tried to make it up with speed. He tried to make it up with his IQ. He tried to make it up with his unbelievable mental stamina. Like, I've never seen anybody that could like literally hold their mental full flow state stamina for 9 seconds when most people are at 4. Floyd is at 4 seconds. Fucking Terrence Crawford's at 4 seconds, and pretty much everybody else is around 3 to 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? To actually be like mentally engaged completely for nearly 9 seconds is hell. Is hell for most fighters because it's like, yo, like he only has to like take a quick breath, and then he's got a whole nother 9 seconds of an ass whooping.
Mhm.
Like, while you trying to get off your 3. But then he outstanded your 3. He overworked your 3 seconds. Your 4 seconds, he overworked your 4 seconds. He literally got engaged in the fight. And while you're trying to set up counters and do this and do that and do this and do that, and it's like, oh shit, I need to take a break. He's still pounding on punches. Like, it's very hard to deal with somebody like Lomachenko, especially in his heyday. But
Right.
you know,
Now,
but it's not.
now going off of like you know, Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. Obviously, we have Devin Haney moving up, which I believe he'll probably do better at 140, but more being as far as durability is concerned and be able to fill in. I don't know about the punching power. I think that you with punching power, you have it or you don't.
Oh,
Um, with Devin Haney. You've been in there with Devin Haney actually sparring with him. I
mm-hmm,
mean, where when we talk about there's people that say I look at punching power like this. One shot knocking power like Deontay Wilder and Tank. You punch in respectable power,
mm-hmm.
pillow fisted. It's like 4 ratings for me. When we had if you had to go off of that 4 rating system,
Right.
where do
You
you
want an
have
ass whooping? You want ass whooping? Go sit down then.
Oh man. So what would you rate, Devin's power?
It's a low like 4.
So he's a pillow fisted fighter.
See, but the thing is, he's not quite a pillow fisted fighter. He is a pillow fisted fighter. You know, like he's definitely got nothing. Like, but the thing is, he has a little bit of punching power, just a very little. I mean, like the reason why I say four is because like most of his punches is gonna be four, and then every once in a while he can like ramp it up to six.
Mm.
But that six could get you knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those things. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's one of those things. He has to he has to depend on staying in a position where he's not getting hit, pile on points, drown you in rounds that you lost with jabs.
Mm.
If because he has fast feet, he can step back fast. He can move. He can disengage the fight fast. So the whole thing is, if he can just, they just focus on like the old Floyd Mayweather style, whereas though he can, all they have to do is just land something, bow, and land a jab, while the dude stepping forward, step around, waste more time, bow, step forward. You know what I mean? If I could land a couple jabs, walk away out the round, next round. Why? Because we won the round. I'm the only person that fucking landed a jab. Those are checker players.
Mm.
They're very, very, very hard fighters if they have ability. You know what I mean? Like for instance, I could be a checker player. I could be, but I'm a very dynamic fighter. I'm a freak of nature. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? I'm a freak of nature fighter. Freak of nature fighters are different. Roy Jones, different. Ali, different. Like, you know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao, different. Imagine if he had a technical like a different trainer. You know what I'm saying? Like that motherfucker was incredible from the start. He was born that way. You know what I mean? And then Freddie Roach took him to another level. Imagine if he had something else. Imagine if he had a Philadelphia trainer. Like, you know what I mean? Like just imagine. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of things going on. But like I don't actually count. But what Devin Haney is an elite checker player.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
going to be hard for anybody to just walk in there and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna knock him out." No, you're not.
Do you when we
Javante
talk?
Davis is not going to knock out Devin Haney because if he
No.
do, he'll be incredibly lucky. Like, you know, he'll be incredibly lucky. See, the thing is, right? I'm pretty sure he's not going to just throw the same punch multiple times and step forward and run into a fucking punch, throwing a Hail Mary shot. Like that's what Ryan Garcia does. Because Ryan Garcia is a one-shot fighter.
Yeah.
And he's only focused on landing that one shot Hail Mary. You know what I mean? He can throw it coming forward, he can throw it stepping back, he can throw it at point blank range with timing. But the thing is, if you have a person that's in out moving and pulling mass forward, you can set them up into a shot. But like I don't think Tank, I mean Devin Haney ain't never going to do that. He ain't never going to do that. You know what
Mm.
I mean? So like a lot of these fighters that say that they can beat Devin Haney, they're going to lose. They're going to lose. And then they're like the whole thing is the funny part about it. Ain't nobody. It feel like everybody watched my sparring with Devin Haney, but nobody's really watching my sparring with Devin Haney. Like, you know what I mean? Like you see me beating them, but you don't really see me beating them. They're not fucking smart enough. People don't really have calculative thought processes. You know what I mean? Even when you see how to even when you see a good game plan, you don't really know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? I'm circling around him. I'm making him come forward because he don't like to come forward. I'm catching him in the exchange because he can't fucking run away and engage at the same time. He can't counter and fucking engage at the same time. So I could stop him in the exchange and then fucking be back on my bike, make him come forward because he feels comfortable running away and
Mm.
getting tired. You know what I mean? That's what the entourage is for. The
Hey.
entourage in the background yelling and screaming and shit is to make you hurry up and come forward, waste as much energy as possible, make yourself as less efficient as possible, lose rounds as much as possible, and then when that time comes where you done ran out of energy, ran out of all your resources, fucking water ain't even good enough, then boom, he catches you with big shots and then basically talk a whole lot of shit.
Facts.
I mean,
So, when we talk about like grit, when we talk about heart, where is Haney standing at? Because obviously you're bigger than him. If I'm right, you are bigger than him.
I'm bigger than him now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back when I sparred him, I wasn't too much bigger than him. No,
You
I was.
campaigning at
I was.
40?
I was a 140 pounder. You know what I mean? And I was a whole lot shorter than I am right now. I had a growth spurt at 29, so things were different.
Damn. So, when
For
we talk
people that
about
think I'm old, you stupid motherfuckers.
that, that's big too, because when you get a growth spurt late, it don't matter what the number age you really at. Youth is youth. You know what I'm saying? When you stop growing and you start messing up your body and putting all these different alcohol and smoking weed and all that extra stuff, it could definitely do something for you. But like when we talk about grit, when we talk about that, when it comes to that champion mentality, when you have to deal with adversity, does he have that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Honestly, I gave him the stamp of approval in that last fight with Loma. Honestly, it wasn't an easy fight, and he could have not fought that motherfucker. Everybody, what? What? Look, I give him more credit than everybody. I give him more credit than Teofimo. He's a bitch. He didn't fucking fight Lomachenko. Like, granted, he didn't this and that, but at the end of the day, he got cursed just like Lomachenko by fucking not fighting Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And then ends up losing the belts, all of the belts, to somebody else in Cambosis. And
Mm,
then Cambosis do the exact same shit, not fucking fight Tio, and then lose all the belts, or fucking fight Lomo for that matter. You know what
mm,
I mean? So it was a consistent curse that's been upon the whole belts. And tell you the truth, if Devin Haney fought somebody else instead of Lomachenko, he would be cursed. If Devin Haney didn't fight Cambosis a second time, he would have been cursed too. This motherfucker is very smart. His father's very smart. They pray a whole lot. You know what I mean? Granted, he's with the he's a Muslim, but tell you the truth, the Muslim culture is the only culture that's really been like 100% like fully in standing. You know what I mean? It's very interesting what's happening when it comes to Devin Haney.
um what do you think when we talked about special fighters, when we talked about guys that they got that freak in them, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by freak, I'm not talking about in the bed. I'm talking about freak is like, they obsess.
Oh, I was about to say, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah.
I mean, I got some. No, it's like,
I'm
some
talking,
lubricants and vibrators.
yeah, I'm talking
Ain't
athletic
no telling what might
ability.
happen. Chains, whips,
I'm thinking that, like, the athletic ability,
mood
that Roy
lights.
Jones, the Roy Jones effect. Come on, Blair, don't put me in like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna think I'm a creep. Come on, man.
Come
Uh,
on.
Let me change my word from freak to athletic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you think Inoue possesses that?
Yeah, yeah. He's a freaking nature fighter like myself.
There it
He
is.
he
Freak
just so
of
happens.
nature.
Yeah, freaking nature fighters. He's a freaking nature fighter like myself. Anyway, it's very rare that you have two freaking nature fighters like in the midst of the same generation. But I am on my way out compared to him. So like, how old is Inoue?
Inoue, he
Usually,
is.
usually it's
He's in
only
his
one,
30s. I think
huh?
it's like. I think he's in his 30s. Yeah.
Oh, so shit. Then we're at the same place. Then it's rare that you have two freaking
Inoue.
fighters.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He was only a couple years older than Stephen Fulton.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then it's rare to have
Yeah, he's
two.
30 years old.
Yeah, yeah. It's rare to have two freaking nature fighters, um, in the world at once. But there it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, there's been a few. There's been a few actually in this generation. You know who else was a freaking nature fighter? Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's a freak of nature fighter in the heavyweight division. It's almost like his hands was made out of magic. If he hits you, you go down, and it don't matter like at all. The whole fight could be going the opposite direction, and then all of a sudden, boom! Tyson Fury gets knocked the fuck out. Like the referee got to count to 20. Like yo, shit real. Like shit real.
Right.
You know. So I don't know.
Um, the reason why I mentioned that is because there was a topic upon him fighting Tank one day.
What did Fulton do wrong?
What did Fulton do wrong? Go right ahead.
All right, them niggas gonna be mad at me.
You already said
I
you
know,
didn't like
I
him.
know, bro. I know those guys. I know all of those guys. But tell you the truth, they say fuck me anyways. So fuck them too. Like, but anyways, like when it comes to this whole thing with Fulton, what did Fulton do wrong? Fulton got incredibly comfortable.
Mm,
He got incredibly comfortable in the gyms that he's at. He got uncomfortable with the training that he has. He's gotten way too comfortable. He's gotten too comfortable. A lot of times, a lot of fighters, and especially the Philadelphia fighters, they end up getting too comfortable. Jerron Ennis will lose to Blair Flair because he is too comfortable.
mm.
When I talk to him, shit, his booty tighten up because I told him, you real comfortable. I wonder what happens when you get uncomfortable. Let's see what happens when you get uncomfortable.
You think the booty gets loose?
Man, it'll have to get. I got a big. I got a big one. It's gonna have to.
Oh man, this is a boxing show, son. This is a boxing show, son. Like, come on, son. What we
I,
doing
I,
here?
I ain't even gonna lie. I was 5 seconds. I was like, you look. I was going through some hard times. I was 5 seconds from getting on OnlyFans. You feel me?
Oh shoot!
So I was just
Oh
playing.
shoot!
Playing. I,
Jose Vargas.
I was just fucking with you. But yeah. So the Fulton situation. A lot of fighters they get comfortable when they get comfortable with being comfortable in their situation and what's going on. And to tell you the truth, there was a lot of there was a lot of shit going on too. Like his last couple fights was tough.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like his last couple fights, like the Figueroa fight. I
Yeah,
was
that was tough.
live to see that ass whooping. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He
you
was
had him still
getting that
winning that
clip.
fight or what?
Huh?
You still had him winning that fight?
No. I didn't have him winning that fight. I saw the fight live. I saw a lot of ass whooping, a whole lot of like just ass whooping, you know.
Mm.
But that's how it is sometimes, you know. It's like yo, that's how it is sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. But the thing is, right? You would think after that happening and surviving something like that, you would think this is coming from me, from what my perspective. I would want to be put in that situation consistently. I would want to fucking like I would want to have to stay in that position consistently of being uncomfortable with that type of situation. And the thing is, he was fighting anyway, and anyway is faster than his eyes. Anyway does the exact same type of things that I would do to Ennis. He didn't throw the punches, the jabs like this. He threw them like this. Bow. You know what I mean? He didn't throw like specific moves that like you could actually like time and be calculative about. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he already had it in his mind. He had to trick your eyes,
Mm.
you know, to get to you. And the moment he tricked his eyes and he got to him, that motherfucker was down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like for all the people that's in the comments talk about some craziness, craziness. I mean, it is what it is. It's like do you what you know how great Scooter is? Scooter is an incredible fighter. Don't sit here and act like Boots ain't the one that could get it too. Just like that. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? He could. Boots could be the next one to fall, just like that. You know what I'm saying? because it's nobody's unbeatable.
Mm.
Nobody's unbeatable. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna try
Wait a
something
minute.
real quick, Blair. Right? If y'all think that Blair is talking crazy, get these likes up right now. Let's see if these likes will come up right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm crazy.
We got 64 people on here, and we got 33 likes. Let's see if these likes will go up. If they stay the same, we're gonna have to say something else.
Yo,
But
if you're part of the fuck Flair movement, give me a like, baby. Woo!
woo!
Oh, we got okay. Come on,
It jumped up. It
come
jumped. Yeah,
on.
it jumped. It jumped. How
They
far?
part of the
Oh,
fuck
whoa,
Flair
whoa,
movement.
whoa, whoa! 39,
The
39.
fuck Flair movement. There
If
we
we
go.
got the fuck Flair movement,
Hell yeah.
bring them up. Bring them up. Bring
I
them up.
love the fuck Flair movement. You
Shoot.
motherfuckers is getting me paid. You motherfuckers is losing money betting against me. You know what I mean? Fucking fights are upset.
Tell me
You're losing money. You need to get on a different team.
that. So tell me, a fight with Inoue and Tank. If is it like possible? Not possible? And who do you favor?
I don't think that's possible.
Mm,
But like, cause anyway is incredibly small. That's an incredibly small Asian guy. You know what I mean? Like it's actually incredible that he even beat Stephen Fulton. Honestly,
mm.
Asians don't get very big and they stay right in their own lane, which is not in our lane until you're a freaking nature fighter like anyway and Manny Pacquiao. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man, but I don't know what anyway has like what weight class
I was
was that
22.
22 and what's the next weight class 130.
22, then you got 26.
Yeah, like the weight class is like this. He got like so many weight classes before he gets to 35 or
Well,
40.
they Tank's team. I talk to Tank's team quite often. They said that they believe now that Tank is taking this sport a lot more seriously, and that he got a nutritionist and all that. That he could make 130 pounds. So
Yeah,
is it
I
still?
don't believe that though. I don't think that he'll. I don't believe he's going to just make 130 pounds like that easy. Nah, I don't think that he's going to be able to carry that kind of weight very like right now. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And then on top of that, he's 30. You know what I mean? Which means he's
28.
he's he's 28. Who?
Tank's
Anyway?
20.
Oh,
Anyways,
oh.
30. Tank is 28.
Tank is going to go up in weight.
Hmm.
Tank is going to go up in weight, and most likely he's going to end up seeing some fighters that's going to hurt him, or at least beat him, like me, like Ennis. You know what I mean? Guys that's not going to fall victim to his counter punching
He
abilities.
got to make 40 before getting to 47.
Yeah, but yo, you had somebody talk about some look at Boots competition. Look like yeah, he's got 30. He got 30-0 record full of trash. You
Oh
know that's
yeah,
so. You know how about that for the ass?
yeah. Now, a lot of people on the channel, they always say you must see TV. We got a lot of haters and we got a lot of lovers. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
A mixture of
I
that
love
becomes a
both.
good show.
Absolutely.
Um, people want to know what's your record.
I don't even know my record. I think it's like 16-1 or some shit like that.
16 and like 10.
Yeah, I'm like 16-1 or some shit like that. Like I only got one loss, and that was that one fluke from Alexis Rocha. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like that's probably like the biggest problem when it came to me is just like how many like how much time gaps there were in my fucking fights. Like you know what I mean? They like Philly tried to kill me. You know what I mean? By not allowing me to get fights and talking shit. Yeah, 16-1. Yeah. So I lived a very interesting life. Let's put it like this: when they dropped the movie about my life, like it would inspire millions around the world long after I done lived, long after I live. Like in every, it will pale. It will make like the likes of some of the best fighters today pale in comparison to who I am. Period.
Mm. People are asking why is Rocha a fluke? Why was that fight a fluke?
I didn't have enough time or preparation at all. You know what I mean? There was multiple different things that was in the way of that fight. Golden Boy literally starved me out for nearly a year, and then that fight comes about. And then the whole thing is they starved me out so I didn't have the resources. And then they don't give me my goddamn contract to actually fight until a week later. People don't notice, even though I was the biggest like person in all of YouTube in boxing at that time, the most consistently like seen character in boxing for a week up to that fight and sold the fight within a week of promotion. You can't tell me that Blair the Flair is fucking worthless. But even with all of that being said, I put on a good fight with only training 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks for the fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a fluke. But the thing is, I was confident. I'm like, shit, this motherfucker's whack. I'm gonna beat this ass anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, because shit, I need the fucking bread. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get any better if they postpone it. You know what I mean? They done fucking like drowned me out and starved me out. That's what Golden Boy does to fighters that they trying to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? They
And
do
you
that.
can't make 140 anymore, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I wouldn't want to. You know what I mean? I
They're not.
wouldn't.
There's not enough big fights there.
Nah, it's no big fights there, and everybody's moving up. Most of the fighters that's in 47 is probably gonna move up. I might have to move up just because of that. Like, you know what I mean? Just to chase down one of those great fights. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things.
Now we got a fight coming up September 28th. We got Canelo Alvarez fighting Jamel Charlo, the smaller Charlo.
Hmm.
Charlo's moving up two weight divisions. Guys like Roy Jones stated, when I moved up, I went weight class, the next weight class, the next weight class. I didn't just jump
Who?
two weight classes. Roy Jones.
No,
So
he skipped the cruiserweight though.
true,
He
he
skipped
did.
cruiserweight,
He
and
did.
then when he went back down after gaining like nearly 40 pounds of muscle mass, he tried to lose all of that 40 pounds of muscle mass and nearly killed himself against and
Tarver,
Anthony Tar yeah Tar-
Antonio Tarver.
Antonio Tarver, and then he's never been the same since because he wants to stay at that weight class. He should have stayed at at heavyweight.
It's a tricky subject, man, because it's like obviously the heavyweight division is the most lucrative division, so you can see that that's where you was thinking money. And then, like you said, you went down, and it's not a good thing.
No, going down is way worse than going up. I tried to make 140 on the dot for my first fight for Golden Boy, right? That's what that draw came from. And I was trying to recover. My body needed to recover for like a month and a half. My body was still recovering from that fight, and it had nothing to do with the fight. The fight was supposed to be an easy fight. The problem is that weight was not easy. It took everything out of me, everything. And I like things wasn't working. My timing wasn't working. My body wasn't working. So I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Like I'm just gonna have to fight. You know what I mean? But it's just gotten to that point. Like weight loss is a problem.
Mm,
You don't want to get put in a position where that weight is like an issue.
right, right.
And
Um, so before you answer that question on your prediction on that fight, guys, what I'm saying, if you really rocking with this interview and you rocking with Blair and Mill City, let's get these likes up right now. We got 64 people on the live and 44 likes. Let's bring them up now. So
come
what
on,
you think
baby.
about?
Like, give me a like.
And my man will give you a woo. But what you think about that prediction?
Which one?
Uh, you know, Canelo Alvarez. and Jamel Charlo at 68.
But that's the 154 pounder though.
That's right. Moving up 2 weight classes.
I don't like it. I think it's bullshit. I think Canelo is just really trying to find something. I think Canelo is the last of the era that needs to leave, which is the bitch era.
Mm,
Trying to learn as much as he can from Floyd Mayweather on how to be a fucking bitch. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like, yeah, he was fighting greatness before, but now when he fucking gets sit the fuck down, now he's changing up. You know, he ain't
mm,
talking fucking. Oh yeah, let's fight Arthur Bitterbeef. No, he don't want that smoke. All right, then let's do a rematch. No, he don't want that fucking smoke. He just
Blair.
acting like a little bitch, fighting a fucking small fighter, making his ass come all the way up to his weight class, even though he's a unified champion at at his division. And Canelo needs to get his bitch ass down to that weight class or shut the fuck up and find somebody else that's your size.
But you cash cow, bro. You making the money.
So the
Beating
fuck what?
Canelo.
Like at the
Beating.
end of the day, you don't get no respect. You know what I mean? You don't get no respect, and like that cash cow shit is getting annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but a
It'd be great.
payday.
I'm be
Payday.
I would be
I
way
know
better
that.
of a fucking cash cow than fucking Canelo. You know
Mm,
why? Because at least I could fucking talk some shit and do something. You know what I mean? But like this whole Canelo shit, it's just getting whacked out. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I'm so fucking crazy. I actually believe I'm fucking great. So I will fight the top fighters. You know what I mean? All the risk included. Canelo is not taking any risks, and he's not. I don't see that fight as like a profitable fight that like he should even be fighting. You know what I
mm.
mean? Like why are you fighting him when like everybody's talking about you fighting the other dude, the other Mexican cat, um
David Benavidez.
David Benavidez. You
Mm,
want some money, you want some smoke, you fight Benavidez. You do not get no respect for fighting Charlo. You know
mm.
what I'm saying? Matter of fact, if you fucking want a real good fight, pay for Charlo's fucking what do you call it? The other Charlo. Pay for the other Charlo to get his shit together. Pay for his expenses, pay for his fucking camps, and pay for him to fucking have a tune up. And
And
then
his
fight
social worker.
fucking like a king you supposed to be.
So you got to pay for his therapist,
Yeah,
his,
all that shit.
his
Yeah.
divorce,
Fucking
the whole
make
nine.
that shit happen, man. Make this shit happen. Like shit. Let me tell you something. Deontay Wilder did it.
Mm,
Deontay Wilder went out of his fucking way to chase greatness.
mm.
You know, he didn't have to bring fucking Tyson Fury from the dead. He could have went about his day and kept fucking up shit and just like keep applying pressure to the biggest coward pussy in fucking London. You know what I mean? Like at the time at least. You know what I mean? He could have just kept doing that.
But when he did that, you thought
Canelo could do that too.
I like that you mentioned that. You just said the Tyson Fury with Deontay Wilder because he was going through a lot of drinking problems. I
Hmm.
don't know if he took care of the money when it came down to that, but yeah. But then again, he turned him into the Undertaker after that. But so you're telling me what? You talking Canelo Alvarez with a knockout?
No, I'm I'm talking. I'm not gonna watch that fight.
Mm,
I'm
you don't
talking
like it.
like I'm not gonna. I'm not paying for the fight, which I don't pay for most fights, but like I would tell people not pay for that fight.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Even though it might hurt the sport, I
Mm.
would tell people not to fucking pay for another Canelo fight until Canelo is actually real about what he's trying to do.
So
You know what I
you
mean?
would you like him to fight the other Charlo? Would that be fair? Would
I would tell the Mexican fans to not pay for a Canelo fight until he start acting like a fucking Mexican and fight some real fights.
oof. Mm. So tell me though, tell me, what about the next Charlo? Is that a fight that you would say is suitable now that it's only going up 1 weight class?
What?
Jamal Charlo, the older brother?
Oh, he'll get killed.
Who get killed? Jamal?
No, fucking
Canelo?
like the old. You talking about the heavier one
Yeah,
against Hell
Canelo.
against Canelo?
Because that's what he's doing. He's getting both of the Charlos. He signed a 3-fight deal with PBC.
I don't think it's cool for him to fight the smaller one. I think it's cool for him to fight the bigger one, but also make sure he gets a tune up. I think that he should be guaranteeing if he wants to do that, then he should be guaranteeing. I mean guaranteeing that the heavier Charlo, the one that he's supposed to be fighting, that he's supposed to be fighting for years but didn't do it, he should be fighting on an undercard as the co-main event.
But he don't want to get his shit together, Blair.
Make it. It ain't nothing that can't be solved with a little bit of money. And I'm talking about a little bit of money. Motherfucker, I'm in thousands of dollars in fucking child support. I took care of that shit with just a couple dollars. Like you can't you can get in there. You can get your fucking license back in movement. You know what I'm saying? Get with a priest. Start praying.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Get
Amen.
in prayer. Nigga, if you don't believe in God, you better start.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that can solve like most people problems. The real problems, you know what I mean? Let's put it like this: antidepressants make you depressed.
That's true, and they get you addicted too.
Your anxiety medicine make you
Shit.
have more anxiety and
Mm.
give you illnesses.
That's facts. That's
You know what I
facts.
mean? I had to conquer these fucking things, and I'm off my shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm always crazy. Just look at my fucking record. It says I should be fucking crazy by now, and I am.
Oh shit! Talk to him, Blair. Talk to him, man. We got 75 people on the live right now. 52 likes. Bring them up. We got the Mister, the one and only Blair, the Flair, Cobb. Stop playing with him. Come on, boy.
And well, let's go. Let's go. Throw up
So
those likes. Throw up those likes.
bring them up. Bring them up. So when we talk about the state of boxing today, if I had to say, Blair, yo, put your boxing license down for a little bit, bro, and play matchmaker. Talk to me. What you gonna do at for the welterweight division?
The welterweight division without me is not good. But
But you're gonna make the most money in boxing
if I was
promoting
if
and
I was
being
a promoter
matchmaker.
and I wanted the match make without me in it, which is really a problem because I'm the most driven like character in the division. That's a big loss. We still have Ennis that's doing really good. I'm hoping that Virgil gets his shit together.
He had
But
54. You heard it.
hmm?
They saying he had 54 now.
Saying he had 54, I don't think the weight is going to make a damn change. He's going to catch Rabdo again if
So you think he's done? You think he can't box no more?
he. He can't box the way he used to. You know what I mean?
Mm,
If his body's that sensitive that it's catching Rabdo consistently, you know what I mean, due to doing some things he probably shouldn't be doing.
mm,
If his body is consistently catching Rabdo, it's gonna be hard for him to make any weight.
mm,
It's not
mm.
just about making weight; it's the training process.
Yeah.
And if his body's breaking down to that level where it starts to bite and eat away at itself and kill himself, he might need to fucking hang up the gloves. I know exactly what rhabdomyolysis is. That's why I said what I said. That's why I knew what I knew. That's what I did. What I did.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the fuck rhabdomyolysis is. Some of my closest people got rhabdo multiple times.
Mm.
So like I knew that like it was going to happen again.
You did.
Like you know what I mean? It's not like it's not rocket science.
We
You know?
did that interview. Yeah.
Huh?
We did that interview.
Yeah, yeah. It's not rocket science. It's common sense. It's just it just takes a lot of learning and maybe some experience. You might know somebody that might give you an edge. You know what I
Well,
mean? But yeah,
going
that's
off of that topic, right? We'll stick on it for a little bit because I like talking about unfiltered things in boxing that a lot of people, casual fans, and even knowledgeable fans in the sport that don't really want to believe. But when it comes to PEDs and certain peoples that are hired to present that for fighters without it being detached when it comes down to the snack program, what do they call that? Not the VADA testing, that it will clear VADA testing. Um, People say, "Oh, I don't got Canelo Alvarez on my pound for pound list because he's a cheat." Manny Pacquiao is not my all time great fighter because he's a cheat.
I don't.
Um,
My whole thing with Pacquiao is that it's never been proven though.
mm,
That's the crazy thing. And the thing is, right? He is a freaking nature fighter. He's like me. Did you? Let me tell you something.
Talk to me.
As an amateur, people have heavily thought that I was on steroids just for the shit that I was doing.
Mm,
Heavily. Like, ain't no way that shit's possible. I was able to move my full body from one place to the next at such an alarming speed and rate that it looks like I disappeared. That's
mm.
some fucking Dragon Ball Z shit. You know how fast you have to be to do that?
I do
You know,
get.
your whole body can disappear and then reappear and still
Yeah,
be.
they say you was fast.
I was dumb
Anybody.
fast, and
You was
I'm actually
fast.
to get that speed back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The thing is, they keep fucking drowning me in fucking debt and not getting me the money that I need. But like
Mm,
my abilities is not deteriorating. I'm still young. You know what I mean? Pacquiao ain't really see no wear and tear until he was like 40.
40, right?
Wasn't like so active and
Right.
taking like devastating fights. He'd probably be good all the way up until he's like 50 something. He'll probably outwork and outdo Bernard Hopkins. You know? So
Mm,
those are things for your ass. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. Let's talk about the weight class in the 147. We still have Connor Ben. We have Alexis Rocha, which is just a show, a showpiece for the Mexicans fans. You know what I mean? For the Mexican fans, not a true Mexican, but a Mexican fan piece that Golden Boy wants to put up.
send it.
You know what I mean? And then we have what else? We have Connor Ben, Alexis Rocha. We have Sionis, an incredible athlete in his own right, and Ennis. Without me, I think the boxing world will be not the same. It will be boring. It will not be right. Um, and especially in that weight class, with a lot of these fighters that's choosy and really not trying to even fight the younger fighters like
Mhm.
Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, you are a coward if you don't fight me now, because
Mm.
it's only going to get worse. It's only
Does,
going to get.
does
If I
Clarissa
get,
win that fight?
if I get one fight, and it could be a bitch ass fight in Mexico, you're dead forever. You will never fucking beat me, Ennis, any of us. You better fight me now because this is the only chance that you're going to get to actually put on a good show. You know what I mean? Against another showman and get the kind of money that you think you deserve.
Right. What do you think? You think Clarissa got a chance with Keith Thurman?
No, I think that Clarissa Shields is a dishonorable woman.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I think that Clarissa Shields need to chill the fuck out.
Mm.
You know what I mean, and she's a dishonorable woman.
Mm.
And like me personally, baby, go in the room now. You want ass whooping? Okay, then go in the room now. No, you're not sitting down here. Here we go with this. So yeah, I think that Clarissa Shields is a dishonorable woman, and there's things about that. A dishonorable woman will do the exact same thing that a dishonorable man would do. What does a
Mm.
dishonorable man do? A dishonorable man will put his hands on a woman and shame and dishonor a woman's character and image. That is what Clarissa Shield is doing by even remotely calling out Keith Thurman.
Mm.
Calling out men fighters, she's a dishonorable woman that doesn't deserve the title that she has as the GWOAT. You should fucking relinquish that title. You're not a GWOAT anymore. You're not a fucking woman
Mm.
anymore. You
You're not
should
a
take.
goat. You're a moose.
Yeah, you're a moose now. No shit. Wait, hold on, where the fuck you get that? Yo, let me tell you something. One time, one of those fuckers almost hit me, man. Yo, I
Oh,
was running in at nighttime in like the
right.
middle of the night. I was taking a long run in Philadelphia. It was just like on the outskirts of Philly. It was in some fucking like it was just like in the middle of like a nowhere land type place. It's just a freeway. It's just a street, and that's it. And just like woods. And one of those bastards almost hit me,
Big as
running
shit.
across the street. I'm like, oh shit! Like, you know what I mean? While I'm listening to my headphones,
Big.
I'm
They're
like, this
tall
moose
too, right,
almost ran
Blair?
my ass over. You know how
They
big them things is?
they're tall, right?
He was huge. He was huge. And like the crazy part is, like, I'm sleep running. I'm running, but I'm sleeping at the same time. So like, and I'm just listening to music and I'm just getting it in. Like, and then like I open my eyes for a little bit, and then a big ass moose just runs right past me. Like his fucking antlers came like this close. His body was like this close to my
Yeah,
freaking face.
yeah.
Like I was
That shit, yo. That if that hit you, that's probably the end of your career. To be honest.
no, that would have been the end of my life, man. But then
True.
again, I don't know. I survived all kinds of shit. I've been hit by cars, trucks, nearly crashed two airplanes. Ain't no telling what I could do now.
Shit. Um. Let's get our last one in here, right? You had to play matchmaker for the 168 division.
Well, who do we have?
Whew.
We have, we
We
have
got your boy Canelo that was under your undercard, one of your undercards in Mexico. We have Caleb Plant. And remember, he did that Megla smack with Jamal Charlo. So that's kind of
I
interesting.
want to see that. Like, bring that fight on, man. You
Hmm.
know, that'd be good. That'd be good. That was good publicity. That should end somewhere, not nowhere. You
Hmm.
know, I mean, goddamn, you patronize fucking Caleb Plant to such a point that you got this man smacking you, and then got me fucking feeling like I'm left out. Like, that's too, like shit. Like, you know,
He was
at
mad
the end of
funny
the
when you
day,
told me that.
I was
Then
serious. I'm like, damn it, man. I
then they
should have
got
been
some
there.
talks. They actually got some talks with Demetrius Andres fighting Benavides in November. What do you think about that fight?
Okay, well, Boo Boo is definitely booty. He's definitely Boo Boo. His name is what it is. He is complete dookie.
Mm.
Um, but
Talk to me. Why?
but I would like.
Why is Andres Dookie?
It's like he don't really have that much to give to the sport. He's not like a big showman. He's not a big he's not a big draw. He's his style is not convincing that it will be interesting. He just has a whole lot of knots. Knots in his life. He's not the one. Like
He got more X's than O's.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But shit, like he will
Yeah,
give a
got
good
dropped
show.
by Demond Nicholson with a jab. That is true.
Oh damn. But you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, like he's still a good fighter. I think that fight. I think Benavidez wins, and then moves on to hopefully bigger and better things.
Does he
Hope
get him out of there though?
I think Benavidez can kind of get anybody out of there. I mean, he did an incredible job against Caleb Plant that had feet, that has a lot of feet, like foot movement for days, weeks, months, years. You know what
But his conditioning towards the later rounds is not. It's not subpar. Like
No, no, it was that was the thing. No, his conditioning was incredible. He like
oh, he
that
he
foot movement.
fades. He fades.
Yeah, like the foot movement is like the gift. It's very much like what I have. Only thing is I have power that like one shot power that can put somebody down too though. And I'm awkward. So like if you come in there with like a counter punch, I'll catch you before you even get it off because I'll do something weird. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I'm a weird fighter. You know what I mean? And it'd be on purpose, but it looked like an accident. I promise you. You know what I mean? Like this nigga just sucker punch boots. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, yeah, I think that would be a good fight. So I don't know the best fight for me to see at that weight class. Well, one, but I definitely want to see Charlo get back in there. I need to see Charlo get back in there and be the old Charlo that was literally upsetting everybody in the division. I would love to see that. I would love to see Caleb Plant fight Charlo. I would love to see Benavidez capture another big fight. I don't think that Boo Boo is a big enough fight, honestly.
he's
I think
doing him a favor more than Boo Boo's doing him.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's kind of hard to like for Boo Boo to fight anybody and make sense. He'll probably have to fight me. Like that's usually what happens. They get sick of you, they just send you to me. Like, oh, you know what? Fuck that dude. Fight Blair or Flair. Like, you know what I mean? Pretty much. Like he's probably going to fight me now. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm,
But it's just
mm.
one of those things. I think that yeah. So we like that's gonna happen. Benavidez is gonna destroy him and drown him in punches and beat him down. And then we're gonna move on to hopefully seeing Charlo back in there. Um and like really Canelo needs to be a part. Canelo needs to be where the smoke is at because like that's why I said like we need to stop paying Canelo.
Mm.
We need to stop paying for his fights. There needs to be a ban on like, yo, don't pay for his pay per view no more until he fights Benavidez.
Yeah.
Don't pay for his pay per views no more until he fights Charlo, the real the Charlo that we supposed to see at
But
his weight class.
you lived around where he's from.
Yeah.
Like, how do people grasp him as a fighter? Because it's hard to get the Mexican community to love a champion. It took some time for De La Hoya to get that. And how are people moving when it comes to Canelo out there? Because those
Well,
are the ones that are paying for the pay per views.
do you want to know you want to know the fake or you want to know the real?
I need to know the real.
All
We
right,
need
the
to
real
play
is
the
this.
flip.
The real is this. Everything that I'm saying, the Mexicans that's in Guadalajara right now are saying the exact same thing. They're sick of his ass. But
Mm,
like they'll show up, they'll pull up for him. You know what I mean? They still have like respect and honor the fact that like he is one of their own. You know what I mean? They'll even like they'll rep for him. But at the end of the day, no, they sick and tired of his shit.
mm,
They wish Canelo would get in there with somebody like Blair or Flair and go ahead and let's see a real fight.
mm,
You know what I mean? We can schoolyard playground fuck you up right quick.
mm,
Like like the Mexicans want to see that. You know what I mean? Because they got tired of like the bullshit. Ain't nobody more realer than the Mexican fans. You know what I mean? They might hoot holler for these motherfuckers, but at the end of the day, they ain't really fucking with them like that. You know what I mean? They'll hoot and holler for Lux Rocha, but they ain't really fucking with them like that.
yeah.
You know, they're tired of that bullshit. You know what I mean?
You
They'll
seen
come
the
out.
you
They'll
seen the
come out.
Navarrete fight? You seen
Huh?
Navarrete and Oscar Valdez fight?
I seen a little bit. I didn't get to see enough of it though. I seen some highlights.
You think
I
they're riding for Navarrete like that?
I don't know. I like. I have to call up. I have to call up and see. You know what I mean? It's only take. For me, it only takes one call. You know what I mean? I got real close people in Mexico and many places in Mexico too. Like, You know what I
Cause
mean?
you,
I'm
cause you
connected.
was you was in the
I
run at
probably
one
have
point in
like I
time out there.
enough Spanish, I'm a little afraid. I've been kind of like cast out like that when it came to my Spanish. But like I'll be back in it. I'll be back in it pretty soon.
Yeah, because they were talking about like, hey, Navarrete versus Shakur Stevenson, and you know how it is. You get a one win, and everybody want to see you fight somebody next, like next day, or maybe 8 hours from then. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody really has a chance against the core. You know what I mean? But it'll be a great fight for as long as it goes on to the 12th round. You know what I mean? But there's just not a lot of people that can handle what exactly Shakur is. I have a lot of. He's very interesting. I've watched him very very closely. He's very interesting. You know what I mean? And
He's
I
one of
had
my favorites
I
at
took an
135.
admire to him. You
Yeah,
know?
he's definitely one of my favorites at 135 for sure.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but nevertheless, guys, man, any last minute questions for Blair, guys? This is my dog
Absolutely.
right here. You know, Morel is a nice, but he's not ready for Benavidez. It's the same story. Let me see real quick. Um, Questions for Blair, guys. Questions for Blair. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Make love to the like button. Cheat on the like button, but come back to it.
Damn, you gotta have he's over here telling you guys y'all gotta have a toxic relationship with that like
With
button.
that like button. You know what I'm
You
saying?
I love him for the same time.
Mm-hmm. Um, people rock with you, you know. But nevertheless, thank you, Blair. I'll definitely tap in with you real soon. I got so many more interviews. I gotta go do one with Regis right now. Then I got one with Crawford tomorrow. Buddy McGirt today. Judah today.
Tell
So
Regis I love him.
who?
Tell Regis I love him.
I'll do that right now.
Hey man, if it's so hard to make weight, I saw it, man. It was so painful making that weight. You're going inside and outside the bathtub, and you're doing a whole lot to your body. You need to come out. Blair Flair will take care of you. He will take care of you, make you feel nice about yourself. Give you a nice little
Violent.
on the little booty hole, and and just tell you nice, sweet stories as we brutally fuck your shit up. It's Blair the Flair, the most exciting man in boxing, coming to whip your ass. Come out here, baby. Woo!
You already know, man. Blair, it was a pleasure. Much love, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. Take care.
God bless, and on to the next.